Hello and welcome back to the channel. And we're here with another episode of Castlevania, episode 6. Last time on Castlevania, a major revelation, of course, with the conversation between Saint Germain and Sci-Fi and Treasure about this infinite corridor that's some gateway or portal to other worlds, which of course brings back into the fold the discussion of Dracula's resurrection. If this is indeed a portal to hell, and somehow plays a part in Dracula's return. Uh, this of course does expands the world a bit more if it, in fact, Saint Germain has indicated he has lost someone in the infinite portal with infinite corridor, which suggests that he's been through it, or at the very least there's a possibility he's been through it. So is he from some other world, or he there's certainly a possibility, given his talk about immortality before, and is he just trying to get back home, right? And because he specified that this is a portal to other worlds, not necessarily just hell. Just open the door to other dimensions or other worlds, that could definitely be brought into the Castlevania storyline, outside of to kind of expand it outside of just focusing on Brilla and Dracula. But definitely the thing I'm looking forward to the most is in fact Dracula's return, which I've theorized since the start of the season. That initially my thoughts were that it would be Isaac and Hector that brings Dracula back. Could be wrong. It could be that this portal is what does it, and maybe this night creature that landed on Priory is in fact going to be the key to actually Dracula's return, and not so much the Forge Masters. But I'm still holding on to that because of the focus on the Forge Masters this season. Of course, I'm still curious as to how the storylines, these two separate storylines, whether or not they will merge before the end of this season, or as I said in my last reaction, that quite possibly we will see Isaac and Hector and Camilla's storyline resolve this season, but the Priory and Cypher and Hector's storyline will more than likely end on a cliffhanger, possibly with Dracula's return at the end of the season, if not a hint of his return as a setup for the next season. So that is my prediction. That is my hope for this season. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. So let's check it out. Well, he's gotten more than boots. He's gotten pants and shoes and a shirt.
Almost human.
Nice to be dressed again, but
Would have asked to have gotten the hell out of the
the thing
cage,
about
but
moving
okay.
right now is that I think it'll feel nice when I stop doing it.
Oh, you didn't want to go for a walk then? A bird might think your penis was a twig and fly off with it.
Yes. Well,
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so he's
won't
basically her little pet.
Good boy.
You disappoint me, Hector.
Now then, would you like to go for a walk? Bit
Good
of fresh
for a
air
walk.
and starlight?
Good boy.
I think I would.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, and he can't see it?
Sadly, there's a condition.
A collar to boot.
Oh.
Not my idea. Strieger insisted. It should be quite comfortable. She just wanted a little extra security.
Really?
You're
Not
10 times stronger than
shackles. You have no pride, Hector? God.
It's a lovely night. Don't you
There's
think?
no way he could outrun her even
What a
if he
chilly night.
wanted to.
It was warm
And
myself.
normal shackles would
So
suffice, not a
dramatic.
dog's collar.
Relax and enjoy the night.
You disappoint me, Hector.
I was always a night person.
You might be missing something, you know? Only coming out at night.
Oh, I don't think so. Just look. I can't see how the sun would improve this view. See? It's not so bad here, is it?
I could do without this.
Does it hurt?
No. It just reminds me of the last time someone put a collar on me.
No.
He's
because
not an
if she meant
idiot,
to kill
yet
you,
somehow
you
he
were quite
can't
simply
see the
dead.
manipulation. And
Nobody here wants to harm you. We just don't quite trust you yet.
Trust me.
You did try to hurt me, Hector.
They're not going to try to harm you because they need you, fool.
What she said. In hindsight, beating the shit out of him does seem like a miscalculation, since your scheme apparently won't work without him.
He needed to be cowed. Lenore would have had nothing to work with if he was still a happy idiot.
We do need the idiot, Carmilla.
I know.
Let me guess, a bed this time. Oh, wow.
New cell. In you go.
Still a prisoner, Hector.
There. Good boy. The book, by the way,
Such a disappointment.
is some of our vampire magic. Can I see you tomorrow night?
Yes?
As if you have a choice in the matter, Hector.
Of course.
Thank you. Good night. Dream well.
What did you make of him?
Saint-Germain. I'm not sure I'd trust him as far as I could kick him. But he's not who I thought he was on first impression.
Not with us. What?
And maybe he's been on his own for so long that he was willing to drop the front that quickly because he that desperately needed friends.
Reminds you a lot of yourself.
That alone. Suffering under that loss.
Remind you of someone.
That's a depressing thought.
And
Yeah,
I don't know how to feel
I
about
think we
this
should
because
help
I get
him.
a feeling
of course.
all this
It's
happiness
the right thing to do.
will eventually come
and we may
to
need his
a
help.
tragic end. And I don't think they're
Did
going
we
to kill
fall out
the
of our story
Belmont, so
into
it
someone
might
else's
be
story?
Cypher. Or it could be, you know, she could, I mean, at some point get pregnant and he dies, but
No.
his son, the other Belmont, carries the series onwards.
We shouldn't be here.
Infinite corridor. I guess he did see it, or he did travel through it. Wow. What the hell is that? Another world. Yeah, I was right. There's some otherworldly shit that's happening, and obviously Saint Germain is not from Earth. At least that's my interpretation of this. What the hell is this? I do wish they would just animate this stuff. I hate the 3D animation. Just keep it consistent with the hand-drawn animations, man. Alright, so it's a woman. And she gave him that so that he could find her. Well, that was trippy.
Oh
raises a lot of questions and very little
I'm
answers.
sure there must have been a time when I had nice dreams. Maybe when I lived in palaces and mansions.
Palaces and mansions.
Did I dream when you were here? I don't know. I was too focused on our daylight hours. And now, here I am again. Never wanting to sleep. Not until I find you. Not until I live in the good dream again. Not.
Isaac! And his
Where
horde
is
of
the
night
one who can
creatures.
talk well? The one with the eyes.
They don't make for great
I made
company,
you
I
to know.
suppose.
I was
speaks.
curious. The night is long.
This is the
I've
first?
been given much to think about of late. May I ask a question of you?
Of course.
Do you remember who you were before you went to hell? What do you remember?
I was a scholar.
Really?
I was. In a place called Athens. I think it was a long time ago. Philosopher.
And this was
I believed philosophy to be the study of the systems of the world and our purpose in it. And yet discussion of the nature of the divine became a crime. Christians. And one important Christian was heard to say that the people should hunt down sinners and drive them into salvation as a hunter drives its prey into traps.
Interesting. Very interesting.
You have not.
I was betrayed, Forge Master. I was hunted. I was tortured.
By
I
Belmont.
lied for my life. In a church. Before it, I became a sinner. And they killed me anyway.
Huh.
I woke up in hell because this world is insane. And
That it is.
I thank you for my second life. I intend to use it well and make wonderful new dreams of it.
Wow. This was definitely one of the more profound episodes this season. All right, let's get the crazy shit out of the way first. So between what happened with Saint Germain and his little his trippy trip through the dimensions, and he wasn't kidding. The infinite portal is a gateway to the infinite. It's a portal to different worlds. We saw what I imagine were different planets and different worlds with technology varying between the worlds, that each world that he visited. Giant robots, creatures. I don't know if that shaman looking character was from Earth or it could be from a different world. We don't know. But obviously, he wasn't kidding. It is a portal to different worlds. This infinite corridor. It raises a lot of questions, and I said it expands the Castlevania world so much. But and as I said before, I hate the use of 3D animation. I do wish whenever they do something like this in recently in anime, they tend to switch to 3D animation. Just be consistent and stick with the hand-drawn animations. it always pulls me out of it, because it's like, okay, I'm watching this, but I feel like I'm watching something else at the same time. I hate when they do it, but for budgetary reasons, I understand why they do it. Still, it's Netflix. The series has proven that it's worth the budget at this point. So I do wish they would be a bit more consistent with the animation. But as I've said before, in last season, and I believe they'll do the same thing here, they'll save the bulk of the budget for the last 2 or maybe 3 episodes, as they did last season, for the major battle scenes. But still interesting nonetheless, these different worlds. It does mean that, for me, my interpretation, Saint Germain could possibly be from a different world. Perhaps not, but that's my takeaway from it. This woman that he's looking for, it seems to me that she had the opportunity to go back with him, but she chose not to. Instead, she gave him this thing that could track the portals. But is she someone that he knew from Earth, or from whatever world he's from, if he's not from Earth? Or did he just come across her? He just get a glimpse of her somewhere at some other, in some other scenario, and he's been chasing her since, trying to find her. But very, very interesting. But this is, I don't know how, as to how it ties into that creature that dropped into the priory. Now I'm wondering whether those creatures are in fact night creatures, or are they creatures that came from the Infinite Stair. I don't think they're from this world. When we saw the first flashback, when Judge was telling the story, you immediately thought that they were night creatures, but judging from, I mentioned before, the color of the creature that dropped into the priory, and that stone that Saint Germain carries around, it's very similar. So I'm wondering if perhaps the portal was already in the town, and those creatures actually came from the portal, and they were fleeing back to the portal when the townsmen chased them and killed one of them. But that one probably survived. The last one to drop in the priory, I don't think he's dead. So I don't know. A lot of questions that remain to be answered. As for Isaac's little discussion here with this night creature, I believe this is the first time we've seen a night creature actually speak. And this one seemed not just speak, but he speaks very intelligently and eloquently and very knowledgeable. He says he doesn't remember his time before hell, but he seems to be painting a very clear picture of what happened to him prior to going to hell. And I don't know, I worry for Isaac a bit. While he seems to be in control of the night creatures, this one, this one seems to be conscious in and of himself, without any instructions or directive. So it could be that, he doesn't have control over what he's pulling from hell. He's just resurrecting, and he may just bring the wrong thing back, but for the moment he seems to be good. But this creature seems to have a will of its own, and that's the danger. That's the danger here. So between him and Hector, they may end up bringing these creatures to Earth, thinking that they have them under their control. But what if they lose control of those creatures, or somehow one of the creatures that they bring back isn't under their control? What happens then? So I get the impression something is gonna go awry. Between that, whether it's Hector or Isaac with their something that they've conjured from hell will take control of this whole situation. But we'll see. We did touch base with Hector and goddamn Lenore. I've said it already that Hector continues to disappoint me. Back in when he first met Camilla and she was manipulating him in season 2, and you could see the hesitation on his part, right, at the time, because he was betraying Dracula. He was questioning it. Yeah, is this the right decision? Is this the right thing for me to do? Discussing these things behind Dracula's back. He questioned it to some extent. He questioned it. He still went with it, but he questioned it. Now here, he's being manipulated by less than honest persons in my book. Yes, Dracula didn't tell him the entire truth, but he had opportunity to go to Dracula, right? Here he's a prisoner, locked in a cell, treated less than human, first by Camilla and now here, and he's willingly going along with this without questioning any of it. He's noted several times that, okay, they only need me because they need me to forge monsters for them. But yet still he doesn't, he's fine with having himself go outside on a leash, and she keeps saying good boy and treating him as though he's some sort, he's a dog or some pet of some sort. So with in season 2 in Carmilla, he at the very least he had his pride as a human, as a forge master, as one of Dracula's generals. Here, I don't know. It's not even so much that he's broken, because they haven't been torturing him or anything like that. He's just, I guess Isaac put it the best way back in season 2. He's a child with power that he doesn't know what to do with, and that makes him very dangerous. So obviously what's going to happen, he's going to continue thanking Lenore. He's going to become infatuated with her and do her bidding. And then I think at this point, with Isaac's discussion with that night creature that he conjured, I think it's a very real possibility at this stage that the Forge Masters can give control of the night creatures to someone else. And I think what's going to happen is Isaac is going to do just that. Hector is going to do just that. He's going to create the night creatures for them, and then he's going to be dumb enough, because of his infatuation with Lenore, to give her control of the night creatures. I think that's what's going to happen. Hector is an idiot. There's no redemption for him at this point. I'm done with him. I'm just hoping Isaac gets there sooner rather than later and just kill him in the worst possible way, because this is so much worse than his betrayal of Dracula. If only because with Dracula it felt more like he was being manipulated there. Here he seems to be willingly giving in, as though he wants to be less than nothing. He wants to be a pet. It's ridiculous. I didn't like him in last season, but he's become the most unlikable character in the entire series so far. So far, Hector is such a disappointment. I was hoping there would be some redemption for him, but I don't know. I do not know. Very disappointed in Hector. Alright guys, sure to post down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. Be sure to hit like or subscribe, and I will see you guys for the next episode.